Let's go. Welcome back to the Couch Coach.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yes, welcome back to the Couch Coach, your Friday morning pit stop into the greatest sport on this planet. We're doing things a little bit different. We are not on the couch today. We're on our own couches today. We got our special guest, my boy Bernard Samuel
That's
Daniel.
right.
He is
That's right.
a football guru, truly. But I got my guest host, of course, Nui. I got my boy Tim Jitsu. Man, this is gonna be a crazy week to talk football because a lot happened. Y'all know how we like to do on the Couch Coach. We're gonna run it just like a football game. We got our pregame, we got our first quarter, our second quarter, our halftime, third quarter, fourth quarter, and then we're gonna bring it home for the win. Without further ado, let's start the Couch Coach. Y'all know how we like to pop this thing off. What the hell happened this weekend, Tim?
Well, I'm going to take us to the Houston-New Orleans game and talk about Houston able to beat New Orleans, right? I think I was the only one, if I remember, that picked the Houston Texans to win that game
You doing?
because their defense in New Orleans was so good.
Damn.
Yeah.
Not so good. Although, it's
Yeah.
a weird game. CJ had a solid day.
He did.
Threw his first interception, but still had 2 touchdowns, 13 for 27, 199. Houston had 120 yards on the ground, so they had more rushing yards. But New Orleans was better in every other stat except the one turnover that they had, which was the fumble. So they had an interception and a fumble, so they had 2 turnovers, which probably was the difference in that game. But Houston gets a big win, and they're right in the mix in the AFC South, and I'm here for it because CJ's playing unbelievable, and I still think he's the front runner for Rookie of the Year.
No doubt. I'm mad that I didn't stick with my guns and stay with H-Town because you're right. And I knew they were going to win, but I wanted to try to get up in the rankings, and now I take another L. But next, Nui, what the hell happened for you, bro?
Man, I'm going to talk about my own damn game. The Niners, man. The Niners versus the Browns going into hostile territory in Cleveland with the number 1 ranked defense. We had these guys in the previous podcast, some of these episodes, as a riser. And I think you touched in on it, man. They got a lot of playmakers, man. Brock Purdy played absolute dog shit. It's unfortunate. I'll say it. I'll fall on the sword there because I praised him the whole time, right? But we all know every quarterback's going to go through this game.
Yeah.
Every quarterback. And he ran into a wall. He lost CMC, Debo early, Trent Williams out with a sprained ankle. All these guys will be healthy. We really miss Greenlaw because they allowed 174 rushing yards, and we don't do that as a team, right? The Browns are the number 1 defense in yards allowed, and they're on a historic run, right, for the first 6 games of the season since 1970. That's crazy. So if we're going to go out that way, hey, let's go out that way. One thing I did like about Brock, man, 2-minute drill, he played like crap the entire game. But when it was on the line, he delivered, and I can appreciate that. Despite your bad game, throw that shit out the window. Jake Moody missed 2 field goals. We can't really blame it all on a kicker, but when the opportunity happens, you got to make it, especially when we miss Robbie Gould, who is, by the way, has never missed a field goal in a playoff game.
That's true.
Right? So
Chicago
12 penalties. That's uncommon for us. 25% on third down. That's the worst since game 1 in Pittsburgh, and that's something I really harped in on that episode on week 1. Man, we got to do a better job, but I'd rather lose now than lose later.
I know something that was
clutch gene, though. He did show clutch gene in that 2-minute drill.
He did because up until that point, up until that 2-minute drill, did you realize that y'all had 1 yard of offense in the second half?
Absolutely. It was pathetic, man. We couldn't establish a run. These guys were getting a great push. The line of scrimmage was trailing back. And so it's really hard to sustain drives that way when that D-line is blowing up our O-line, man. We did not play well. We got smacked. But the only person to actually do anything against the Browns is Lamar Jackson with 4 touchdowns. Bernard pointed that out.
That's right.
Like, damn, that boy cold.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to spend too much time on that because, guess what? We were drinking that Kool-Aid, the 49ers. It was heavy. Just a couple weeks ago, we were heavy on the 49ers. I know I was personally heavy on Brock Purdy last week, but something about that left a bad taste in my mouth. But a bigger bad taste in my mouth that I want to talk about, I want to talk about this Cowboys and Chargers game because for the longest, for the longest, I've been seeing a couple of guys get put on a pedestal at the quarterback position. And I think Justin Herbert is probably the biggest scapegoat to this, of getting put on a pedestal for doing not that much at all. You know what I mean?
We said this shit. Yep.
At the end of the day, we've seen Jameis Winston throw for 5,000 yards. You know what I mean? We've seen Matt Stafford on a Lions team that did make the playoffs throw for 5,000 yards. And I'm wondering now, is that all that we're ever going to see of Justin Herbert? You know what I mean? Every time.
First of all, Justin Herbert is as good as Matthew Stafford. That's fantastic. You just talked about Matthew Stafford like he was a bum, and that's unfair to Matthew Stafford.
But for most of his career, he hasn't been a contender. You know what I mean?
At all.
You played for the Lions, bro.
And if you're the number one quarterback, hold on. If you're the number one quarterback taken, then you're supposed to change that narrative.
As soon as he won the Super Bowl, you put talent around him like any good quarterback. He elevates. He won a Super Bowl. I'm just saying, Herbert's good. He's a stat machine. He hasn't proven he's a winner yet. I'm with you on all that, but he is an excellent thrower of the football.
I just think with that narrative,
we're acting like Stafford's not a top 10 quarterback right now.
No, it's not that. With that narrative, what you're just talking about, that narrative works for Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. He was the last pick of the draft. So you have to surround him around talent. It's necessary to surround him around talent. If I'm taking you number one, which I don't think nobody should ever do, I keep saying this. You don't need to take a quarterback number one. Surround him around the talent. So if I'm taking you number one, you need to be changing the narrative. I don't need to say, well, there's nobody around you. No, it doesn't matter who's around you. Like it doesn't matter who's around Pat Mahomes, and he still goes to win games.
I mean, to be fair, he's broken all expectations because we were just talking about him before the show, how everyone dogged Justin Herbert and said he was one of the lower quarterbacks coming out of his draft class, and really, he's shown that he isn't. He's better than he was expected to be. He hasn't improved, though. Like, he came in on fire. He stayed on fire, but he's not winning, right? He had 2 minutes last night where he proved that he could have gone down and won the game.
No clutch genes, Sam.
Khalil Mack. My guy, Micah Parsons, made the play of the game, right? He ended the game, essentially, but man, you got to do something when you're that guy. If you're Justin Herbert, you got to do something.
For me, the biggest reason why I chose this game, I'm gonna pass it over to you, but I chose this game is because there's a great deal of scrutiny that gets put on number 4. You know what I mean? If Dak Prescott doesn't win the game, you know what I mean? It's all on his shoulders. You know, like nobody ever says they don't surround Dak around talent. You know what I mean? It's always Dak's fault. But for some reason, when it comes to Justin Herbert, it's never really Justin Herbert's fault. It's everything else that's around him. And I think at this point, we need to start pointing the finger at Justin Herbert. If he doesn't show me that he can go win games and be a contender, then he's going to be a bum like the other 30 quarterbacks in the league.
Last night, it was Justin Herbert's fault. He had the worst game I've ever seen him have.
13 interceptions.
I feel like that has a lot to do with Kellen Moore, though. Like, they don't even try to include him in the run game whatsoever. Like, there's a lot of plays that you could do with him. Bro, he's 6'6", 240, runs a 4.6. He ran a lot at Oregon. Why are you not using him? Like, that's asinine to me. You saw him.
I gotta disagree because there were plenty third downs where I thought it was short yardage, and I was thinking like run the football. But they were putting the ball in Herbert's hands. They were moving him in the pocket. They were allowing him to be the design of the play. It might not be a design run, but he was actually running out, throwing the ball. He just wasn't delivering like he was supposed to at times.
And that's what I'm saying. And that goes back to you taking care of third down on first and second down, though.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
But no one's talking
that creates a lot of balance, though.
In his first series, he came out, he was perfect. They went right down the field in a short field, scored instantly on Dallas, looked great. Looked like, honestly, I thought it was going to be another blowout. That's what it looked like it was about to be. The next series, he took a very, very hard hit to the side of his head, right? There was that. I don't know that might have affected him because after that, man, I mean, he's missing guys running down the sideline butt naked, right? Twice, at least that I can think of. He all of a sudden didn't look like him. When he did run, he kind of fell down, was sliding early. I'm not saying that was the issue. No one's talking about it, but is that a possibility? Because he didn't look like Justin Herbert that we've seen all season.
Did he go in the tent?
No,
No.
but he took
No,
a whole
but no,
strap to the head,
you could
Interesting.
tell he was shaking up. But I mean, I've heard
and he had a broken finger.
I've heard us
That's
blame Kellen.
interesting.
I've heard us blame Kellen Moore. Now, mind you, Kellen Moore is a new offensive coordinator. So, I mean, do we blame the past offensive coordinator too? We blame the offensive coordinator, and then we blamed it on an injury. But yet, Kirk Cousins has been the most hit quarterback for 2 years straight, and he doesn't blink. You know what I mean?
Kirk's a warrior.
I
Two
just
different
need to see
offenses.
more.
Schemes are just completely different, though.
And that's fine. But
Completely
all
different.
I want is I want his stock to come down a little bit so I can appreciate him more. If it wasn't for everybody saying, "Oh, my top three or top five quarterbacks," you can't leave out Justin Herbert. If his name is going to get brought up so often, then I need to see more.
I think we're all
For
I
there.
agree.
how much
I
money did he
agree.
get paid?
Way too much.
They all
So,
got paid.
and
It's
that's what
actually
I'm,
cap friendly though,
and that's what I'm
but
trying to
it
say
hits
though.
in year 2. It hits not this year, but the second year. It's gonna hit.
It's going to
They
hit.
So they
all
got a
So
paid.
short window.
Are you only gonna pay somebody like damn near 300 million, bro, to just sit back there and throw the ball and not be added into the run game at all? That's
well,
Nah, you
silly.
got to utilize the
That's
skill set.
way
what
too much pressure on one person,
It
on the
depends on what
offensive
you're
I
coordinator,
agree.
the
scheming with.
offensive line, and the defense.
I'm with Tim. It kind of depends because when I start to pay you that much money, that type
You
of
need
I gotta
more
investment,
protect.
production.
I gotta be
We
careful with
need to
my
protect
I
investment.
you.
gotta protect you.
I gotta
I
protect
gotta
You
you.
have to be
protect you.
protected.
You mean way too much.
Yes.
If you're not on the field and you're hurt, then guess what? I only have another, maybe another 70, 80 mil for the rest of my team because we have to pay you so much.
And every time you get hurt, that takes years. That takes seasons off your career. Every time you get hurt. Every time you get hurt, you lose a step.
I'm
Every
trying
single
to
time.
win.
Something
I'm
happens
trying
to
to
your body.
I'm trying to win that season.
Mhm.
I'm
So
trying to win
so
that
so
season.
So
Bernard,
you're willing to pay a guy
let's
$300 million for 1
Hit
year?
get Bernard in there.
let's go to this other side of this same game. I do realize, hey, if y'all don't know
What the hell
Bernard,
happened?
Bernard is probably the biggest Lamar Jackson fanatic ever. Now first off, we don't
Y'all
accept any
crazy.
type of Lamar Jackson slander on this show. But if there's anybody who's going to advocate for Lamar Jackson, it's Bernard. But he's also a Dallas Cowboy fan. So tell us a little bit about what the hell happened on the other side of the football when the Cowboys finally got that dub.
Other side of football, offense or defense?
No, I mean I mean, I was talking about the Chargers. Well, I mean, what happened with the Cowboys?
Bro, they finally started using Dak's legs. Kellen Moore wanted him throwing the ball 35 plus times for what? You still got Zeke. You have Pollard in. He needs to be added to the run game. And I'm a defensive guy. Everybody knows that. It's hard to stop somebody 235 plus who runs the ball well enough to be added to the run game to create balance and soften the edges. That slows down everybody's read. So now you got the CD Lambs, the Dalton Schultz, the current tight end. You got Cooks now. Like the play action to be even more efficient. Then you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Now, for a game, well, I guess what I want to ask is, they added this efficiency that you're telling me, but I still didn't see this elite offense that I was expecting all year from the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Well, this was the first week that they actually started opening things up. Week 1 through 4, super vanilla, like hardly any motion shifts. Like everything was, here we go,
I know you heard
ready,
a lot of
like
that
all
last
that
night.
same
I heard a
exact
lot
thing,
of
the
that.
same exact thing. Like,
Here we go.
yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
Listen,
I've heard this 1,000 times. So everything was just
Lamar,
basic.
here's my issues with the win last night, right? Yeah, we won the game. That's great. From a realistic standpoint, take the fan hat away and look at it. If I'm a coach and I'm going into the film room today, these are my issues with the win last night. Love that Dak ran the ball, but he was our leading rusher. Dak was also sacked 5 times, 38% on third down, 50% on in the red zone, which is better than what we've been, but not what we expect. We had less than 300 yards passing versus a team that averages over 300 yards against them week in and week out.
That's
We
right.
only scored 20 points on a team that averages giving up 26 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
Tell it.
So when I look at this, the recipe was right. Defense, win this game, and defense won the game. Herbert played the worst I've ever seen him play. We talked about that. Defense elevated from a week ago, and the way our past defense playing, they really stood out last night. They made some phenomenal plays last night. Micah Parsons showed up at the right time last night. Still don't like they've got him at the end the whole game. That's ridiculous. But those are my issues with the win last night, and I see those being major problems as we continue down the road.
Now we have a whole
Tim, let me piggyback off of that. Did y'all see the difference in having Damone Clark out there over Leighton Vander Esch? The plays he was making with Marquise Bell up in a box too.
I guess
they were so much faster. They were faster.
I think we all knew that going in.
We've known that for a couple of years now.
But you don't think so? So you don't think Leighton is a premium linebacker?
I think he
was. They should have kept Jalen. In my personal opinion, I think they should have kept Jalen. He can do more.
Okay, there's always certain things that are said that would make us just go to the next section, and I think that was that.
Here we go.
Because that guy, I think that was it. I think it's time to move on because that guy is terrible. But hey, look, here on the Couch Coach, we are just a bunch of guys that are half-ass idiots, but smarter than the guys who absolutely make millions. Do you agree? I think the fans are starting to agree. People are telling us that they're locking in with us as their daily podcast. So please follow us at The Couch Coach Club. That is at The Couch Coach Club on all social media websites. Man,
absolutely.
Talk to us. Give us questions. If you want to be on the show, we'll get you scheduled on the show. We need you guys. Come on. But without further ado, let's go on to the second quarter. This is a new segment that I'm with this group and this cast, with having Bernard on here with how his mind works. I think this is going to be a fun one. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this new segment. This segment is called Fantasy Draft. How we're going to play it is, we're going to start off with our guest, Bernard. If you are a new owner of a team, you're going to pick who you would want on your team first. Just give me 5 players. They can be offense and they can be defense. Maybe give me a little reason why you have these crazy theories, because I already know yours are about to be wild and bizarre. But without further ado, Bernard, for Fantasy Draft, who are you picking first?
LaMarvelous Jackson, number 8 out of Louisville. Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Because first off, he's a running back with all these running back traits, and he's still a top 5 passer. Simple as that.
Simple as that. Nui, who you got? Actually, I'm sorry, Tim, who you got?
Me.
Yes.
I'm going to take number 15 out of Texas Tech. His name is Mr. Patrick Mahomes. And I'm going to take Patrick, and with him is going to come Andy Reid, because that's a package deal. So I've already got my head coach. With Patrick, I get a guy that can win regardless of the cast around him, can elevate players around him, can run, can throw out of the pocket, can throw on the run, and can do things that we've never seen before. And he's a great leader and a great person all around. I love me some Patrick Mahomes.
Nui. Lamar Jackson's gone. Mahomes gone. Who you got?
Those are good ones.
Brock Purdy.
I'm going to go with the wild stallion, Josh Allen. Big kid, can play in cold weather, can play in the dome, right? He wills his team. He's sporadic at times. He's got a little Favre in him, but I love his moxie. He can also implement in the run game as a +1 guy, get you yards when needed. We just got to limit those turnovers. Hopefully I'm his QB coach, because I will definitely settle that down. And we will start to get it playing efficient quarterbacking. But outside of that, man, that's a big kid, can do it all. I mean, he can make throws that not a lot of people can make.
Yeah.
Powerful arm. Just got to tame him sometimes.
My man wants the Jerry Jones thing.
I'm telling you. Well, look, I'm all about winning championships, and I just don't think taking a quarterback first is going to win me a championship. So with my first pick of the draft, I want to take an absolute menace on the defensive line to get after the 3 guys that you just named. please welcome Myles Garrett to this team. There's been a level of consistency. Like I really love Michael Parsons. I kind of like Nick Bosa. There's some other guys that are really good, but there's been a steady level of greatness. You know what I mean? Never falls out of top 2 or 3 really. I just think if I'm gonna go compete, there's still 15 quarterbacks that I will put on my roster. There's not 15 Myles Garrett's, you know what I mean? So I got to have Myles Garrett first. Back to our guest, Bernard, you got LJ on the squad. Who would you be picking next?
I got Debo Samuel, who'll be playing running back in the little slot for me.
Debo,
basically 21. Yeah, Debo for sure.
Debo.
Yeah,
what is it?
twinger, pump return,
There's a
running
couple
back,
thousand players
slot
in the league.
receiver. I love versatility, of course.
You want a guy that's always banged up? I think he's on the injury report right now.
Listen, it's problems when you got number 8 and number 19 up in the backfield at the same time. That boy can catch, run with power. I'm sure he can be taught how to block and all that stuff. Return duties.
Oh, you know he's a
great leader, and he got that dog in him. Mentality.
Okay. Well, I mean, with that pick, we're gonna move on, but I do feel like we're 1-0 against you guys already.
Okay, go ahead.
Tim, who's your second pick? You got Mahomes on the squad.
Listen,
Who's next?
I got Patrick Mahomes, right? And the biggest thing that I have to do is protect Mr. Patrick Mahomes. And to do that, I'm going to bring in Trent Williams to be my left tackle and make sure that my man Patty stays upright for 17 games a year.
Okay.
Trent Williams.
I like it. Nui with Josh Allen.
I love what
he's going to need some help.
I got to protect my guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I give him Weapon X, or maybe I just give him a guy who can just really play the entire line. That boy out of Detroit.
Penei Sewell,
yeah. Young and dumb.
That's a good
you
pick.
took Silverback from me.
I like it.
Damn it. But that's cool.
I like it.
I like Penei Sewell. My man can play left and right tackle. He's very athletic. Hell, you can even throw a little trickeration in there in the red zone. I bet he can catch that shit too.
He's really good. He's really good.
Yeah, he's really good. He's a stud. You got to protect the style.
But hey, guess what? Guess what? Offense doesn't win championships. Defense wins championships. I'm gonna match up Myles Garrett and right next to him, bring in Quinnen Williams. All right. So already, you know what I mean, we have an insane D line that's gonna get after the quarterbacks, and they're all gonna look very human.
I just want to say one thing about that.
Mm-hmm.
I will be using Debo to chip Myles Garrett.
Stop
right?
That.
Myles, yeah, I'm gonna chip him, and then I'm a double, and then I'm a double team Quinnen.
Debo off IR first.
Hey, if you send Debo Samuel to chip Myles Garrett,
he's just getting a pad on him. I'm chipping him inside the tackle's hip.
Hey Tim, what were you saying?
I said Myles is going to throw him into the sideline.
Throw him sideline.
No, he's chipping with a shoulder. That's it.
Okay,
just slow him down.
So you got LJ and you got Debo. Who's next?
Jamal Adams.
Hey,
don't laugh. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Hey, get back on camera.
I like Jamal, man.
Get back on camera, bro. Listen. Look, I don't care what y'all say about my boy, man. Look. He a linebacker. He a safety. He a nickel. He can do it all. He's a jack of all trades. Did y'all not see the energy that he gave Seattle Sunday?
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
listen,
then what are we talking about? You talking about versatility and leadership across the board.
Hey, okay.
You're not even going to protect Lamar?
Look, you know what?
Bro, I've seen Lamar Jackson without pass pro, bro. He's fine.
Bro, he had one of the best offensive lines since he stepped in the league.
Have you ever seen Myles Garrett sack him? Has Myles Garrett ever sacked him?
They have a really good line.
Okay, but what's
like one of the number one rushing teams in the league for the past 5 years?
And no, they have not. What slows down the pass rush?
Hey,
what slows down the pass rush?
This guy said Jamal Adams. So first off, what I want to know is, all of our
I gotta
viewers,
take a
if you're
shot to
watching
that.
this and
Jamal, get healthy, brother. We looking for you.
if you heard that blasphemy, then I just want you to go to YouTube and type in Jamal Adams versus Julian Edelman.
Bro,
Okay?
I don't care about that, bro.
Watch the whole video and just know what he said was absolute blasphemy. Tim, you got LJ out there. Tim, you got Mahomes, 1-5. You got
Yeah.
Trent Williams to
Yeah.
protect his blind side. Who else is joining your squad?
Well, I need somebody for Patrick to throw the ball to. I also need good marketing. So I want to get Taylor Swift in the building. So I'm
Oh
going to go
my
ahead and
God.
bring in Travis Kelce.
The slowest offense in the league.
The best. I mean, this dude at tight end, he just caught 9 passes this past weekend. He's always open. For some reason, you know that he's going to get the ball, but you just don't cover him. He's Mahomes' best friend in life. I definitely want Travis Kelce on the squad.
Fair enough. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue Travis Kelce, but a tight end this early feels a little outlandish. But Newey,
That's
who
a
you got?
reach.
He's had 5 guys,
Reach,
man.
All right, man.
Josh Allen, Panay
You guys,
Sewell. Who you got?
I know we're very offensive driven right now, and I get that. But I got to go with the D line, who can play all across the board. One of the greatest defensive linemen of all time, Aaron Donald. I got to go with him. Why wouldn't I? I know what I'm getting every game. I'm getting the intensity. His leadership is going to feed off on others. He's a dog. I know exactly what I'm getting with him. Next.
Look. I said I want Myles Garrett, but I still think Micah Parsons is the best defensive player in the league. Okay? So none of y'all are going to be able to move the ball against Myles Garrett, Quinn Williams, and Micah Parsons is going to be moving everywhere. Next, Bernard. I'm not even going to say too much. I'm not even going to say too much. Bernard, who you got?
Who says we can't get those players?
You got Deebo Samuel, and you got the reach of all reaches with Jamal Adams. Who you got next?
Yeah. I got the most feared receiver. When he break that huddle and he put that foot up on the line, he not being put in motion, right? He running his whole route tree. Number 14 out of Ole Miss. Not number 1. Number 14, DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Mentality.
Very underrated coming out of the draft. I never understood why.
For sure.
Because that one's easy. It's because of AJ
hurt too, wasn't he?
It was
He
because
the
of AJ
bona fide
Brown.
number 1.
He was underrated because AJ Brown was just a tier better in college.
Yeah, and I think I think he had like a little neck injury in college, which kind of put him like in the second round.
So you're putting Lamar Jackson with Debo and DK on that offense.
Good luck. Hey, look,
some freaks.
What's the common denominator out of all 4 so far though?
They're all pretty speed.
Physicality.
Physical and leadership and leaders.
Yeah. Physical. It's not as
presence.
much speed as it is
Presence.
physicality.
Presence. I need it.
Okay, Tim.
I got nothing but dogs on my roster.
Listen, I don't know how you take my guy when I'm wearing his jersey.
I had to.
That seems
it felt too easy.
Undercut. I was about to take Micah, but I'm gonna go a different way. I still want to get after the quarterback, so I'm going to take one of the top guys that for some reason nobody wants to talk about on this show, and his name is Aiden Hutchinson out of the University of Michigan.
You're a monster.
In Detroit. That's
You're
my
monster.
guy since college.
Oh, he's different. He's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there just feels like there is probably 4 or 5 guys that are just, well, how do I say this? They probably have more like God gifts than he does. He works hard.
He's just got a motor.
He
remind me of Jared Allen, bro. Motor.
That's good.
Yeah.
Tough.
That's good.
That's a good comparison. Jared Allen.
That's good.
He's going to outwork you.
He's got the black paint all over his face. He doesn't care if he's bleeding, tape ripped
He's
off.
a warrior,
him.
man.
He doesn't care if he's going to double teams, triple teams, chip him. Doesn't matter. He's going to get there no matter what. He goes sideline to sideline. He's a special player.
I like it. Newey, for your 4th pick to go with Josh Allen, Panay Sewell, and Aaron Donald. Who you got?
Here it is, the X factor, CMC.
Okay, I like it.
CMC. I mean, y'all know what it is. I mean,
Who
he
you
can
throwing the
go
ball to?
running game,
CMC.
passing game, play slide.
You
When I
throwing
got a
quick?
guy like that, stop. When I got a guy like that, I can maneuver a lot of different things. I can put him way out in the 6 and let him work. I
But
can
he not
motion
running
him
the
back,
route
do jet
tree.
sweeps. He can do everything. What are you talking about?
He can do it
Oh,
He's
all.
the
I'm
baby
playing. I'm
Marshall
playing. You're
Falk.
right. You're right.
I've never
He's
met a
baby
Christian
Marshall
McCaffrey
Falk. I
hater.
need that.
No.
Give me that.
Whoa. I'm not a hater. No.
Okay,
I'm playing. I'm playing.
He
I
does
just
it
want to be
all, bro. I
sure
love
I
it.
here.
was gonna say, his
And
daddy,
he's
Complete
his daddy was
player.
a
physical.
wide
Yes.
receiver
I just
now.
want to be
He's
sure.
physical. I
Okay,
love
Complete
it.
player.
Christian's daddy was a
okay.
wide receiver for the Broncos. Now he could play.
Yeah.
So
So we
no
went
For
doubt he
Yeah,
sure.
can play receiver.
we went
he different.
straight we went straight defensive line. Because of that, our DBs pretty much don't even matter because we're gonna get the pressure. So to me, I'm gonna go with the most unguardable player in the league. Um, I want to welcome Tyreek Hill over.
That's your
Yeah,
running back.
that's who I was.
That's your
You know what I
running
mean?
back.
Because I
He can
think
do a lot.
he can bail out
He can do a
any
lot.
quarterback that we bring in. So as far as that spark for the offense, give me instant offense with Tyreek Hill. To wrap it up, Bernard, who's your fifth player that you bring in?
Jalen Ramsey.
Beautiful. That's my guy. He doesn't need an
Hey,
intro.
his position changes week to week. Doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Safety, strong, free, nickel, dime.
hmm
We we
Since
we, we
since we're
good across the board.
since we're on that, do you think his return will turn Miami into the best team in the league?
No,
You don't
no,
think he makes that big of an
because
impact?
because it's not gonna matter. They're still gonna put up 30 some points a game. It doesn't. It doesn't even matter.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay,
How do
Tim.
you stop that machine?
I don't know. I'm
You
not
got to
real
keep
sure.
them off the field.
That's true. That's true. Tim, who you adding over there with Pat and the boys?
Yeah, we're trying to hit all the triangles, right? And
Right.
so we don't have anybody in the defensive backfield yet. I'm so glad you didn't grab him when you start talking about DBs. You made me nervous. I want to take Sauce Gardner right now. Give me the Sauce. I think he can guard anyone in the league. He's going to go ahead and take DK when we play Bernard's team, no problem. And yeah, give
No
me Sauce
chance.
Gardner, please.
He cannot guard him. He cannot
All
guard
right.
him.
I like it. I like it. Nui, who you got over there? You got Josh Allen. He's going to lead your offense with CMC. You got Aaron Donald to lead the defense. How you going to wrap this up?
Panay Sewell to protect him, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Forgot that. I was thinking corner, man. I really was. But when I see my man selected Sauce Gardner, I'm just thinking, what physical specimen is one of the best in man-on-man coverage? It's A.J. Brown.
AJ,
Can't go wrong.
he a bully.
Give me him and CMC lined up. How do you stop that? Wow. Now I just sprinkle in some of these other guys. I mean, I wish we could go 11 because now all this comes together, right?
I like
All
it.
this comes together.
See, well,
I
I'm
love it.
gonna close this out, and we're not even gonna go quarterback here because I feel like we can put whoever we want at quarterback, and it's almost wildly disrespectful that that many wide receivers have been named before him. But next to Tyreek Hill, I'm gonna bring in Justin Jefferson, who is wide receiver one in the NFL, because if Tyreek Hill's blowing the tops off the defense, Justin Jefferson is simply gonna eat, and we're gonna beat all you
A.J. Brown
guys.
can do it all.
You know what I mean? We're gonna beat all you
I
guys.
mean, how is no one
A.J. can do it all.
yet? We're
He
talking
can
about
take it
all the
over.
different
He can
receivers.
go up top,
No
run
one
every
said Mike
route,
Evans.
What was that?
physical.
Hey,
CMC can do a lot what Jefferson's doing right now.
we get the AJ Brown take. What'd you say over there, Tim?
Mike, I mean, we're talking about receivers, best receivers in the league, and we don't talk about Evans out in Tampa. Come
I
on,
mean,
man.
Most
I just
consistent,
Consistent ever, most. Yes, absolutely.
reliable,
but
and consistent.
up until now, no one's been more consistent than Mike Evans. Yes, especially for that longevity. But
For sure.
to start a career, no one's been more consistent than Justin Jefferson. He's actually right now he's the
And
best
yet people
ever.
say Kirk
So
Cousins
who
is
so
better.
so who would be your quarterback, Stefan? You take all these other guys. Don't just
Justin
say I'm going to
Fields.
plug in with anybody
I would
because not every quarterback can outthrow
I
He's
would
taking
close
Tyreek
my
Hill.
eyes. But I mean, since y'all already got those other three guys already gone, I think it would be necessary to make sure Justin Jefferson is happy, and I'm
You're
bringing
going
his
Fields.
guy. I'm gonna bring in his guy,
Oh my
Cool
God.
Joe. I'm gonna bring in his guy, Cool
Ooh,
Joe. Okay,
that's a good pick.
but hey, I really this was fun.
Oh, Joe Burrow.
This was fun. This was just a nice little exercise. But well, let's keep
Yeah.
it going. We're gonna roll over to halftime. You know what I mean? Let's go into halftime. We're gonna draw up a couple more plays. We're gonna drink some Gatorade and let's come back out and fire this thing up. Here on the Couch Coach, man, we like I said, we are a growing community. This community does not work without the help of you guys. So please tap in with us. What's most important is if please subscribe and then turn on those notifications. That way it comes in just like a text message. That way you see every time that we drop content. Right now we're only dropping one show on this show a week, but we're about to fill this thing up weekly. Also, with that, we got the QB Huddle podcast that is literally taken off. I've had so much fun. Like I really wake up and I get excited to watch my boys talk straight quarterback. Nui, man, give us a little synopsis of what you guys do on the QB Huddle podcast.
Man, me and Tim, man, former coach of mine, we had a great relationship on the field, man, doing our thing. We're just a bunch of QB nerds that just love to, have a passion for quarterbacks. And so we just decided to chop it up, man, put this thing together. We've had special guests, throughout the weeks. This week's special guest
Big
was
one.
former first-round Baltimore
Big
Ravens
one.
receiver,
MC.
Mark Clayton and OU great, man.
Shout out,
Our buddy,
Mark.
man, MC, right?
Yeah.
Right. He's great, man. He did great today, or show dropped early today. Overall, man, it's just good talk, man. It's just good banner. Just going through the quarterbacks, it's highs and lows. These seasons are so long, and when you start to cover this stuff, you're like, man, this is going to be a long year, right?
Right.
And then we got the off season coming, so there's a lot of special guests that are coming on. We got Quincy Carter. We got next week we're gonna have Vern Sharp, which is the Amarillo Arena quarterback. He's got a great story, great talent. But man, we're just continuing to do this thing. We got Coach Jackie Bridges coming down. We got Prime Watts coming. We also are tuning into a little bit more of the local quarterbacks as well. Should have some of the guys I trained jump on the thing. But man, it's been great, man.
Yeah.
I love it, and Tim's been great at it. We just been on it, and shout out to our producer who just makes the magic happen. And all we get to do is just talk shit sometimes, right?
Hey man, I just want to say, man, y'all, please just do not let off the gas. Like this is the QB Huddle podcast. If y'all haven't already followed it, please go follow the QB Huddle podcast as well as us here at the Couch Coach Club. That is at the Couch Coach Club. But without further ado, let's keep this thing rolling. Let's roll over to the third quarter. Bernard, how we like to do the third quarter. This is called the pigskin stock market. There are some risers, there's some fallers, and like my boy Tim says, this thing kind of changes every week. You know what I mean? If you can give me
It's
a
fluid.
team, it's
It's
fluid.
a fluid list. As
That's
Stephen
what
A.
he
would
said.
say.
That's how he says it.
Fluid.
It's fluid. Bernard, give me a team that's rising and a team that's falling. Let's go.
Team that's rising is obviously the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh my
And
God,
and I'm just being honest. They're about to go into a dogfight on Sunday
they are.
against the Detroit Lions.
Mhm.
The momentum that they have in the passing game, everybody's saying, well, the passing game looked kind of clunky. I don't see it.
I disagree.
First half,
He's Dyson.
bro, first half of both games this past week and up against the Steelers, bro, he was moving the ball. First down, handoff, play action, bop, 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 bop. For some odd reason, they get down into the goal line and they just settle for a field goal. For some odd reason, I can't really understand that, but I think up against that Lions defense, I think they're first in terms of rushing yards given up, which is good. But at the same time, they haven't played number 8 yet, though. And you still got to worry about Gus Bus. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, and my faller I have are the Indianapolis Colts. I expected them to play a lot better up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I thought Gardner Minshew has been playing well the last couple of games. I kind of knew that he would kind of go back to his old team and show him up again. He let me down because that's who I had going into the playoffs. If AR hadn't gotten hurt, I knew for sure that they were going to be a playoff team. But it's not looking too good as of right now. So that's who I got.
Hey, they're still right in the thick of this, though. You know what I mean? I don't think they're not too far out of it. And the
28
irony
better
is,
step up.
yeah, I mean the irony is, hey, they got a big win against your riser, actually. See what I mean?
Yep.
So, hey,
Yep.
okay, Tim, who you got? Riser, faller.
My riser, I'm going to stick in the same division as Bernard here, but I'm going to go Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Big win over a top NFC opponent
Big
with the
win.
backup quarterback who didn't
We should have
play
won
well.
that,
They made him
man.
look little.
And PJ Walker played well because he did not.
Made us look like a little scrubbish.
Little scrubbish.
Listen, that Browns defense is for real.
Yes.
And what I saw is that in a terrible weather game, which is what you'll be in the playoffs, right, in the AFC, more than likely, no matter where you have to go, that defense is going to travel. And that gives the Cleveland Browns an opportunity to win. So at 3-2, they're right back in the mix. And Baltimore does have a tough game this week with the Lions, a possible Super Bowl preview, maybe. I mean, the way the two teams are playing, they could meet. It's possible. So exciting game. I think that's the game of the week. That Lions Baltimore Ravens game.
Okay.
But
I thought you meant the Browns for a second.
I see what
Yeah, I was like
I see
confused. I was
what
like,
he's
you
I was
jumped
like,
to the
whoa, the
Browns.
I see what he's
What?
getting at here.
But you see where I'm going. I'm just
I
saying
do.
3-2. If Browns win this weekend and the Ravens drop to the Lions, now we've got a whole different type of conversation. So Cleveland got
Yeah.
themselves back in the mix.
And then Deshaun
by
Watson
winning-
comes
by
back.
winning a game they weren't supposed to win. And that's why I put them there.
I'll give you
My
that.
faller, and I enjoyed this. I'm gonna savor this moment. My faller is the Philadelphia Eagles. And here's why. This is not really just about my hate of the Eagles. They've won their games by one possession or less. They've beaten two teams by more than that. They haven't beaten a team with a winning record yet. What happened on Sunday was the Jets took away what the Eagles do well, and that's the run game. The Eagles ran for less than 100 yards. Jalen did not play well. By the way, he has 7 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, right? So when you put the ball in his hands 40 times like they did on Sunday, the Jets exposed Jalen
He has
Hurts.
7 interceptions right now?
He's got 7 interceptions and 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, but that's 3 in one game. Like, that's a lot better than back-to-back games.
Better?
It
I mean, I
doesn't
don't
matter
think.
to me when they come. And here's the deal.
Pretty bad
Here's
right
another
now,
reason why
man.
they're
Right.
falling to me. They're falling to me because not only have they been exposed on how to beat them, but they have a very tough schedule coming up. And let me explain. Dolphins, Commanders, who always play them well, the Dallas Cowboys, who always play them well, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, and then the Cowboys again.
shoot.
5 of these
Wow.
games, the Eagles will
That's
face
tough.
better quarterbacks than Jalen Hurts.
Wow.
Okay,
That's tough.
In 5 in
That's a
3 of
godly-
these games, they're going to face very explosive offenses.
Golly,
They're gonna have
that
to keep up.
sucks.
I just have a feeling the way it's set up, the Cowboys' schedule not quite as tough right now. The Eagles' schedule's a gauntlet, and after what they did this past Sunday, if they don't right the ship offensively, they're going to be in some issues.
Yeah.
Rise or fall or
So
new.
I hate them, but I back it up with some facts.
I got
So,
you. No, I respect.
Man, it's
that.
good.
It's good.
Yeah, man, that's good, man. I'm gonna have to agree with Bernard, especially as a riser team. I had the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, despite some injuries in the beginning, they're finding ways to win close, right? Top defensively, top 2 team in both yards allowed and sacks. That's pretty good. Top 5 offensive rushing yards. Go figure, right? We knew they were going to do that with Lamar and that crew, despite losing that other running back. Lamar, to attest what Bernard was saying, he is playing at an extreme efficiency, 69.6 or 69.9% completion. He's got 9 total TDs. Only QB to put up 4 TDs versus Cleveland, right? This historic defense that everybody's talking about right now. Lamar made them look less historic, right?
Yep.
They're number 1 in the AFC North, and more than likely will probably win it, as I predicted a long time ago during our pre-show. So the next 6 games they got a tough one with the Lions. That's going to be a dogfight. Then they go to then they play the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Chargers. I believe they can win every one of those games and sitting there, with 10+ wins going into week 14, right? So it's a little bit of a different dynamic. It just depends on, can this receiving core really help Lamar out, because he's really playing efficient if you watch the all 22.
Yeah.
Bro,
So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So my falling team right now, guys, is definitely in the AFC West, and I'm just kind of sick of seeing it. It's
Titans.
like it's the same. Nah, it's not the Titans, man. I've had them falling for a couple weeks, man. It's gonna be the Chargers.
Oh, the Chargers.
I mean, questionable calls. They got opportunities to win, and they don't get it done, mainly because of their coach and some of these idiotic decisions. I mean, he's on the 10-yard line and he doesn't kick a field goal.
Right.
Like, are you serious? There's a lot of time left in this game.
Right.
Let's just chip away at it, right? Justin Herbert right now, I mean, Tim praises him. I mean, we all are enamored with his talent and his natural ability, but he has the most interceptions in the fourth quarter when trailing with 13 since 2020. That is
not good. That's not good.
That's ass, bro. That's ass.
So why don't
Like,
they still win the run game?
That's not good.
We knew Flip could win games.
Huh.
Right?
That's interesting.
Dan Fouts wasn't doing that, but this guy we praise. He's got this prototype. Oh my God, 6'6", rocket arm. Brother, you have no clutch gene. And I have not seen it, Tim. If he doesn't, he has no clutch gene. I have not seen it since the Rose Bowl with Oregon.
I see some wild things. I see some things that I like a lot. If I were to say, what is a quarterback supposed to look like? You know what I mean? How is a quarterback supposed to throw? What kind of arm he should have? I might pull out Justin Herbert.
Mate, I mean, he's pretty mechanically sound. His contract, the team never sticks to the run. It's just they don't sustain drives very often. They can score a lot, but it's just questionable calls. Herbert's contract, it really hits in 2 years, and they're going to deplete. And their next 6 games are the Chiefs, the Bears, the Jets, Lions, Packers, and Ravens. I see them only winning 2 games out of those 6 games. Every other game, they're getting smacked.
No. So do you think that's all Justin Herbert's fault though? Like, I feel like it's the job of the OC. Yeah, so he kind of has the same issue that Dak Prescott.
Coordinators in 3 years, Bernard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of the same situation with Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it ain't.
Just
no, it ain't.
Listen. Listen. You got Dak Prescott, who was a runner in college, could throw it. Justin Herbert was a runner in college, can throw it. Then you have an offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore in Dallas. All he wants to do is throw the football. Same thing happened with Justin Herbert. I forgot who his OC was, but throwing the ball 40 to 50 times a game, maybe 1 or 2 rushing attempts, and those are scrambles. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why don't you use both of them in the run game to slow down the game and create more defensive deficiencies? You know what I'm saying? Like, but
it's fine to do that, but they have the natural ability and the instinct to know when to do that, and they don't. That's the problem.
I wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying.
They're robotic.
Herbert,
you have to be an athlete player.
Herbert does have a situational awareness. He does have good awareness to use his legs when he needs to. You know what I mean? Where Dak is a little bit more timid at, actually using his legs. Sometimes I'm like, nah, just run. And he'll just toss it down the field somewhere. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Absolutely.
But let me go to my riser and my faller. I'm back in H-Town, and we back sipping on a lean in the 713. Okay, look, that Texans team they're right there in the thick of this. You know what I mean? And they're not even in the thick of their division. they're in the thick of the AFC right now. You know what I mean? And the fact that this team is just growing overnight, this is a very, very young team. This is the third youngest team in the NFL. You know what I mean? So these guys are learning as we go. I watched that the post game from D'Amico Ryans, and you can just tell. You know what I mean? If you've been in a football locker room and you see how they're looking at them, it just looks a little different. You know what I mean? And the fact that they went out there and they played such a hard-nosed defense, and they made them look small at times without one of their better players. You know, Tank Dell didn't play. C.J. Stroud did not blink. They went out there and won, which brings me to my faller. I'm not going to pick one team. For my faller, it's the entire NFC South. You know what I mean? No one
Bro,
is
yeah.
no one is seizing this
Disappointing,
division.
but we kind of called that going in.
No one
Yeah.
is seizing this division.
We called that.
You know what I mean? Everybody had a chance to do something. You know, the Panthers even had a chance where they were dominating the Dolphins. They were actually dominating for a little part of that game. And then all of a sudden, the end of the score is 42-21. The Falcons had a chance to go beat the Commanders. They were right there to go beat the Commanders. And what did? They drop it at the end. You know what I mean? The Saints had a chance to go beat the Texans, a game that they shouldn't have lost. They dropped it late. The
We know
Bucks.
why they lose.
The Bucks, I don't even know if the Bucks ever showed up to that game. So for me, my faller is the whole of NFC South because right now I'm just not seeing it, and it's a complete clusterfuck, and I don't even
They're in the
know
garbage juice.
I don't know who's gonna rise out of that. Yeah,
Are they
like
in
you
the
said,
garbage juice,
trash.
Stephen? Are they in the garbage juice?
The whole division is in the garbage juice, and
The
I don't
whole
see it
division?
changing anytime soon. Bernard, if you can give me a player that's rising and falling, who you got?
Oh man, Rising. I
And do not
don't
pick
want
a
to go with.
Baltimore Raven.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson.
Please don't say Lamar Jackson.
Okay,
Golly.
man, you got to come back to me up on that one, man, because
That's fine. That's
it's
fine.
tough.
That's fine.
It's
That's
tough.
fine. Tim, who you got?
I got Jared Goff. Jared Goff. I've never really been a big fan of Jared Goff. He's always just been kind of blah to me. But this year, he's really putting it together. They're 5-1, 30 of 44 on the road, 353 yards, 2 TDs. Here's the thing about Jared. He's one of the few quarterbacks that you feel good about him throwing the ball 40 times a game. Right? You don't feel like he's going to throw the game away, Jared Goff. So love that about him. 5th in the NFL in yards is Jared Goff. 11 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. So he's taking care of the ball. 69.5% completion rate. He's being efficient, like it or not. And I don't necessarily like it, but he's playing at a very high level. He's playing up there with, top 5 right now. The way his numbers look and the fact that his team is winning games. And this game's a tested game for him in Baltimore. Man, I don't know what we're about to see out of him. But
Respect. He getting it done, though.
I
You
like
can't
that.
even say nothing. He getting it done.
Faller.
My faller, I wanted to continue to go in on Jalen, but I think we've beaten that horse enough. So I'm going to go Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson, my friend, you have fallen all the way up. You had 94 yards in your last outing with 2 interceptions. Coach is getting on the podium, and the first thing he says is, we got to throw the ball better. It's not that windy. Come on, Russ. They're letting you cook. And the food is terrible, my friend. It's absolutely terrible. I've got here. Listen, I love Seattle Russ. I don't know what this Denver Russ is doing, right? 15th in the league in passing. You're under Dak Prescott throwing the football. Who ever thought that would have happened? That's a bad look for you, Russ, because guess what? There's no other notable quarterbacks on that list below you. So, my friend, take the helmet off and let's ride to the couch.
I ain't
With
gonna lie.
us.
It reminded
Come on,
me
boy.
of this point.
Come take a seat, your sorry ass. I wonder if
Hey,
Sierra's at
it
home like,
reminded
babe,
me
it's
of
all right. It's okay. It's going to get better.
She
Sierra's
don't
like,
care.
keep playing.
She
It's
don't.
gonna
She
get
don't care at all.
Hey, it reminded me of Fast and the Furious when Ja Rule was on and he didn't win and he grabbed old girl. Hey, Demir, you ain't win. You ain't get none. You ain't win.
All right, Newey, who you got?
Hey man, if y'all ain't seen that clip, watch that. That is the whole Russell Wilson clip, man. Facts. He's been boo boo. I got Quinn Williams, man, the running back from the Rams. The Rams got a running game. Dude's 4th in rushing
Kyron
right
Williams.
now. He's on projection to have 17 TDs. The
Yeah,
Rams
he's
running back.
playing
Well,
well.
you gotta tailor that projection a little bit because he will probably not be playing next game. He's hurt.
Damn.
Yeah.
So is Zach Evans the starter?
Zach Evans will be the starter in this game.
Well, just throw all his hopes away.
Royce Freeman is going to back him up, and then they just brought in somebody who knows the system very well because he's in the Vikings offense
Well, man,
with Myles Gaskin. So,
I got another riser. I'm glad you even said that because they thought I was going to
but
get
he's
shrunk. I
playing
got
well.
another riser.
He's
Zay
playing well.
freaking Flowers, bro. Zay Flowers. That dude's a menace. I love what he does.
I do too.
I hope he can continue. He's the only guy that's actually been really consistent. Appreciate the fantasy points, brother, out of Boston College. He's doing his thing his rookie year, man. I like what I see.
Just don't drop that ball no more.
That's what I was about to say, bro.
Yeah, he can't drop the ball.
No more.
But
he can't drop that. That's rookie stuff.
Bro, he is what the Ravens have been missing. Like, he's what they thought Hollywood would have been. The catch and run has helped Lamar out so much, bro. He's never had a catch and run guy, ever. But, yeah. But, is it my turn
Marquise
yet?
Brown wasn't that?
No. I need a follower from Newey yet first.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my follower's Jordan Love, man. I mean, we all were enamored with this, and I said this in the beginning of week 2, week 3. I was like, don't put the anointing oil on him yet. Let's just see, because my man's only completing about 50% of his passes,
That sucks,
which
man.
he got up to 55% of his passes. He's 43.3 in QBR, 77 rating. He's very mid-tier, 26 in passing. I don't know if he's a guy. And I mean, looking at back in Utah State, he was a little bit more athletic than I thought, although he can change arm angles, which I do love. I just haven't seen enough from him.
Bro, this is his rookie year, bro.
I don't care. You've been in the league for 4 years under Rodgers. You got to know something.
You have to play.
Aaron Rodgers was stepped into the fire after year 3 after Brett Favre, and what did he do? Oh, he took his team to the Super Bowl in 2 or 3 years.
His first year as a starter, he didn't. His first year as a starter, he did not go to the Pro Bowl.
He didn't need to. He did his thing, but he was serviceable. He wasn't laying a fucking egg like this.
Okay, but
he's 8 touchdowns, 6 picks.
Bro, who did Aaron Rodgers have as a first-year starter, bro? He didn't have Romeo Dobbs.
Listen. I think he'll be okay. But right now, I'm calling you out. Green Bay has had great quarterbacks for 30-something years. This is the first time they've ever had to sit here and just be like, oh, shit.
Look,
our quarterback's about to struggle.
To have a poo-ass quarterback. It is time.
He's not poo.
Okay.
But he's just a player falling, man.
Okay, but
he's had moments, but that's it.
Are you ready yet, sir?
Yeah, I'm ready. So my riser, bro, like as a Ravens fan and a Cowboy fan, but like this team is catching fire and this dude is like getting healthy slowly. And I've been watching his stats, watching his games. I watched last week's game. It's Joe Burrow, bro. He finna start getting hot. He always does it, bro. And I'm starting to get nervous, bro, because it's like the worst time for him to start getting hot. You know what I'm saying? But my
this
follower,
is a shocker.
Whoa, I'm so glad that this is recorded. I'm shook.
Hold on, this is a lot to take.
I am shook.
What y'all talking about?
Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me tell the viewers, okay? You gotta understand, this guy is a Lamar Jackson first, right? But typically, if the name Joe Burrow gets brought up, it comes with pure hatred out of his mouth.
No,
there's nothing good
stop
to say.
saying that.
There's nothing good to say.
Hatred.
So
he really doesn't like pocket passers in general. So
Lamar's a pocket passer.
What'd you say?
I said, no, Lamar's a pocket passer. I'm talking about this. I don't think he's battle tested like Lamar is. I've never seen him without elite weapons for an entire season.
He still goes into hostile territories and wins in Arrowhead, something Lamar has not done.
Lamar has beaten the Chiefs.
But I'm glad it made
in Arrowhead. In Arrowhead?
You're right.
Cool Joe.
You're right.
Like that.
And he hasn't done it in an AFC Championship game. I know that for a fact.
Cool
Okay.
Joe.
Let me get to my follower, though. Hold on.
Who's your follower?
My father as a Dallas Cowboy fan is Brock Purdy, and the only reason why I say this is
I like how
because
you said
look,
that as a Cowboys
listen,
fan.
listen. The only reason why I say that, bro, is because he's
I'm
so
turning this
scheme
off.
dependent. He's so scheme dependent, bro. He was
He lost
shook
his
when.
left tackle, his running back, and his number one
He
receiver.
wasn't
Oh,
shook, bro.
okay,
What happened in 2 minutes when the game was on the line? He did his thing. He
Sure
put
was.
ourselves to win.
what
And
is
what
the
did we
defense?
do? We missed the kick.
So what is the defense's job in 2 minutes? It's not to what? Get beat over the top. So all those little out routes that
So
he
you're
was
going to take
throwing,
the field goal to win? That's what they're going to do when they've been playing press man the entire game?
I
That's
would
what you're going to do?
I would
You're just
much
going to allow them to kick it.
yes, and you see the result of
Bro,
that.
bro, Jim Schwartz, a Jim here. Jim Schwartz is 8-1 versus Kyle Shanahan. 8-1.
He
So
got
I
his
think
number.
there was his chess match, right? He got
Yeah,
his number. He
yeah.
understands what he does. I think losing CMC and Debo really tailored that scheme a little different. Like,
And the
wait a
left
minute,
tackle.
we don't
Left
have the
tackle's really
dynamic
good.
weapons to manipulate. Now we got to be a little standardized to what we do. How dare you say that about Brock Purdy? God
So
damn it, the boy won
over
12 games in a row. After
over
one game, now you want to throw him in the toilet?
Brandon, he did
over
say
the
as a
last
Cowboys
bro,
fan.
just
Don't
He did
take
bro,
that.
say
I'm
as
not
a
going to take
Cowboys
it.
fan.
just
It's
listen, bro. I gave you this same stat. Now, the percentage might have been a little bit inflated, but I know for a fact, bro, that dude throws in breaking routes at least 47% of the time. That
You
means
saw a lot of it last. Yes, I agree.
but I'm talking about the Dallas game, bro. Like most of their offense is predicated off the play action, bro. Underneath the
I
center.
get it.
Okay, so you already know that those
But
backers are
that's a
coming
lot of
up.
quarterbacks. Stafford does that. Kirk Cousins does
Jared
that. There's
Goff
a
does
lot of
that.
quarterbacks. Brock
Tom
Purdy can
Brady did
spread it
that.
throughout the entirety. I can send you next gen stats. He carves people apart, bro, from outside and in. Jimmy was only focused on inside the numbers.
I believe.
Brock can do it all.
Okay,
Jimmy
How
was
but
dare you,
Jimmy was
man?
in
How
the
you
but
do
league.
but
that? Why you do that to my quarterback, man? Why you
I'm
do
just
that?
telling you, bro.
That's
In 2 minute,
personal.
in 2 minute drill, bro. No DB is
I
getting beat up
understand
over the
coaching.
top, bro.
Yes, bend but don't break, but I
Okay,
get it. But
okay.
why allow him to get three when you're playing
The-
press man the entire game?
Okay, it's my
Got you.
turn. It's my turn.
Seems like a bad
I
strategy.
I think way too often defense does not get love. If you didn't watch that game, then you might not know what I mean. And if you don't have the right eye, you might not see the defensive line. But Quentin Williams is my riser. He absolutely dominated that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a game
Somebody,
changer.
somebody, Tim, you brought it up earlier. You said, "Hey, how could you not say that the Eagles have the best offensive line in the league?" Well, Quentin Williams did not make them look like the best offensive line in the league. He made them look very normal. And the way he dominated that game, like pretty much all throughout it, in what he's been doing, he's just trending the right way because I don't think the New York Jets are a very good team altogether. I mean, the fact that I looked at that game and said their first two, cornerback one and cornerback two, were not playing in that game, and they won. You know what I mean? That was predicated to the D line. I'm not gonna put that on Zach Wilson or that offense. That D line just took over that game. So my riser is Quentin Williams. I've been waiting to say who my faller was all week because it could have went a different way. I was ready to say that the Vikings season was over, but guess what? We went out there to Chicago and we got on their ass. But I think my faller is going to be Justin Fields because right now you're in a position where we still don't know who you are. You know what I mean? After all of this time, we still don't know who you are. They added the weapons. Now you've already sent another weapon out that you brought in. Chase Claypool's already gone. DJ Moore has had his flashes. Last couple weeks we are talking about how good the Bears look, and then boom, he's hurt. We might not see this guy for a couple of weeks now. And then that's
How
going
is
to
he a faller if he got hurt?
he's
How is he a
That's
faller if he got hurt?
that's what I was
hey
gonna ask you.
hey
He broke his throwing. He broke his throwing thumb.
your
Right?
best.
How is he a
I
faller
thought
by
it was on
breaking
his
his
left
Here it
thumb?
is.
hand.
Hold on. Here it is. Your best
It's on his
ability.
right hand.
What is your best ability? Well, for all of us who
I
play
His
played a little bit,
football,
availability, but that's not his
But he
fault.
just came
what
off a
but shoot,
back-to-back
But you
Four
but you
TD
can't
games.
judge somebody off of an
What?
injury, bro. That's silly.
Yeah.
Bernard, let me tell you something. If you didn't watch this show for the first 3 weeks of the season, everybody had Joe Burrow as a faller. And the crazy part is, we all knew Joe
Well,
Burrow
because he
was
was
not
trying to play
healthy
hurt.
before the season even started.
It
You
was
know
a
what I
matter of
mean?
time when he
So,
got
so for
We're
healthy.
just
Justin
giving him
Fields,
shit.
it's a little bit more like how he even started the game. You know what I mean? He was just a little erratic, and then I'm looking at the whole thing. You know what I mean?
I feel like this is
If he
lightning
doesn't
speak right
play,
here.
let's say he doesn't play for 3 or 4 more games, right? So then the Bears will, because he's not playing, the Bears will likely not win any games. So,
Yeah.
but by the time he comes back, they would have only won one game, right? And you're the owner, and you're thinking, damn, we're about to go into another draft. We only won maybe 1 or 2 games, and at this point, Fields has not shown me enough. You put your team in a very difficult situation with a lot of really good quarterbacks coming out, and I think it's going to make it very hard for them to make decisions. That's why he's my faller.
I
Um,
mean, to be fair to Justin, the Bears were already going to do that and already going to mess that kid up anyway.
you think they're going to move on?
He needs to go to Atlanta
You think they're going to move on
Unfortunately, I
from him?
do. I think
or
that
Minnesota.
I think they had that in their mind from the start. I think that they've already decided that they want to draft another quarterback this year because that's what we've seen from the history of the Bears organization. They just jump from quarterback to quarterback and they never get it right.
So
And
with
this
that,
isn't their this
with
isn't
that
They
being
Justin's
better
said,
fault.
stick with Fields, bro.
he should be an
Let's stick with
undeniable
Fields. I
faller.
agree,
You know what I mean?
but they
Because
won't.
this is the situation. But let's roll on to the fourth quarter, man. I really love this. I got my weight up this week. I got a few more predictions right. I got some right that you guys didn't get right. Bernard, in this section, we do our predictions. This segment is called the smartest idiot. And based off of everything that you said thus far, you're probably going to have some pretty crazy picks. So I'm going to let you pop this thing off. We pop it off on our Thursday game with the Jaguars versus the Saints. Who you got?
So if the Saints do what I tell them to do and put Taysom at quarterback, they will win. But I don't see that happening. I expect Jacksonville to destroy them, like bad.
Destroy him. Hmm.
Yes, bad.
Not close.
No, that
Okay.
mojo is gone.
It's gone. I agree. Tim, who you got?
Well, what's the health of Trevor Lawrence? Is he going to play in this game? I think
They don't know
that
yet.
that's
That
a big
he
thing. I'm
had
going to
Trevor
suppose
Lawrence
that
has a knee injury. Right now, it's
yes.
considered day to day. I think because it's the Thursday game, we probably won't hear anything else about this injury until the day of. But
So I'm going to suppose that he's going to play. If New Orleans put Taysom Hill at starting quarterback, I would certainly pick Jacksonville no matter who was playing quarterback. But I'm going to
Dude,
take Jacksonville anyway in this game. I think
82
it's
as
going
a
to be tough though.
starter, Tim.
No, he's a third string quarterback.
Oh my
He is the third
God.
string quarterback on the New Orleans. That's what he is. But yeah, I think it's hard to win in that dome. You know what? I'm taking New Orleans. It's hard to win in that environment. We don't know if Lawrence is healthy or not. Jacksonville has been an up and down team. I'm going to change my pick right now and go to the Saints.
who you got, Noe?
I got the Saints, man. I got the Saints, especially depending on Trevor Lawrence's health. If he plays, Jacksonville will win, but if he's not, it's New Orleans show. And Derek Carr is no shy of throwing for a ton of yards, lighting it up. I think they're doing okay. They lost last week, unfortunately, but outside of that, their defense is top 10 defense. I think if that backup quarterback plays, good luck, man. I mean, they're going to cover all phases, shut down ETN. I probably got to switch my picks now, man. You got me sweating over here for fantasy because I got
Bro,
ETN. So
they're a heavy
Uh,
screen team too, bro.
yeah, man. Look,
yeah, I know
for me, that team
ETN be eating.
that team is below average. The Saints, we've seen. I think they've already peaked, and that peak wasn't very good. I got the Jaguars in this one. The next game, let's roll over to Sunday. We got the Raiders versus the Bears. This matchup stinks. Probably going to have a backup. We're definitely going to have a backup quarterback for the Bears. Who you got, Bernard?
Vegas, common
Vegas,
sense, easy. Yeah.
easy. Yeah. Tim,
I hate to say
does
it,
the love for
Vegas.
Chicago not? They don't give it.
My love for Chicago can't make me pick Chicago. I mean, the quarterback they got out there He's exciting. He's a fun kid to watch.
I
I'm
like
glad
him.
he's getting an opportunity.
I do
Baggett,
like him. Yeah, I like him.
The Bears aren't going to beat the Raiders.
Bayesian,
Mhm.
some
Newey.
new.
But what if that kid upsets the Raiders at home in his first home start?
Mhm.
What if?
Is Jimmy playing, or is his back
I
still?
don't think Jimmy's playing. I think it's O'Donnell. Yeah. That's going to be a rookie showdown, I
Mhm.
Oh
think.
no, Hoyer.
Warriors playing.
Oh,
Yeah, Hoyer.
Hoyer's playing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Brian
Vegas is
Hoyer.
going to win. He's more familiar with that offense. He'll make it move. Vegas.
I think I actually really like this kid, man. I remember seeing him at the Senior Bowl and like seeing like how crazy his stats were in college, and then kind of seeing
He was
him
a dog. Played at D2.
seeing him this Sunday, it wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? To be just, for him to be a rookie, have to be thrown in. I kind of really like him. I think I'm gonna take the Bears on this one, and I don't know why it's ugly, but their defense got healthy. I think that's the main component. I mean, they were missing a lot of pieces on defense all throughout the season. They finally got healthy. I think there was a little bit of a shock that Justin Fields got hurt. I'm gonna ride with the Bears on this one. The next matchup is the
See,
division.
Stefan, this is why you say losing in this.
Maybe, but hey, no, I had a few.
Golly,
I
dude.
popped
Like,
y'all a couple
it's
of
a
times.
layup.
I popped y'all a couple of times last week with some. I went against the grain and I was correct. But in this one, we got
Which
a
one?
division matchup. Stay on track here. Division matchup: Falcons versus the Bucks. Who you got?
Ritter as the starter. I'm going with Baker Mayfield.
Bucks.
Bucks.
Yeah, I'm going Bucks. Baker gets back on track this week, and the Buccaneers. I still think they're going to win their division. The Buccaneers win this game.
Yeah,
The Falcons know how to blow a game better than anybody in the
yeah.
NFL right now. So I'm gonna ride with the Bucks
They
on
were
this
in the
one.
game last week.
Man, we got the Cleveland Browns versus the Colts.
Watson playing.
We don't know yet.
I don't think
I'm gonna still go with the Browns.
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Cleveland. I think Jonathan Taylor might actually have a decent game. It's very difficult to run, but I think they're gonna stick to the run, and they're still gonna lose. I got the Browns on this one. Another division game: Commanders versus the Giants. I have no idea what's gonna happen here. What you got, Bernard?
I got the G-Man. That defense is good, bro. Wink Martindale is good.
It
He's
is.
good. They had a really
It's
good, a
better.
really,
It's better than what they've shown us all year. I'll give you that.
yeah.
And Brock Purdy lit him up.
Saquon's back
Tim, what
too,
you got?
so
I got the Giants. I got the Giants at home. I mean, keep playing Taylor, man. Keep playing Tyrod Taylor because he looked
Tyrod,
really
yeah.
good the other day. And I got the Giants winning this game because I just don't think the Commanders are who they want to be.
Not yet, yep.
I got New York, man. If you follow this trend, Washington wins then loses, wins then loses, wins then loses. They haven't had consecutive games. I mean, you got the G-men, especially coming off that emotional loss that they had. They figured out that they can play.
Yeah.
They can play
Yeah.
some ball. So,
Yeah.
G-men.
This is going to be different, but I have the G-men only if Tyrod Taylor is the starting quarterback.
That's what I'm
For
saying.
some,
They look better with Tyrod.
Yeah,
they
it's
look
got to
better.
be Tyrod Taylor.
He took command of that team a little bit better. If Daniel Jones is playing, I got the Commanders. I think they're going to absolutely get after them. That D line is still really good, but I don't know. Giants. This is our big matchup. We talked about quite a bit. There's some love for both of these teams. Who we got out of the Lions and the Ravens? This is huge. This should probably be the game of the week.
B-Mo. In Baltimore, too.
Mm-hmm.
In Baltimore. Yeah.
Tim, who you got?
Because they've lost their number one running back, Detroit has, and my guy from Chicago, and now I'm blanking on his name for some reason. But you guys know
Montgomery.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Montgomery. Thank you so much. Because they lost Montgomery, because this game is in Baltimore, I'm going to ride with the Ravens this week. I think the Lions might not be quite ready for this show, but they better watch out the Ravens for Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, he's coming, and he's coming every single play for the entire game. So
Morgan Moses.
Who you got, No?
Ravens.
I think the Lions are the most overrated team in the league. I think they're good. Don't get me wrong. But I think everybody's trying to put them in this great category that they are not. I think the Ravens are going to dominate in this game, especially without David Montgomery. We got another division matchup. One team is just ass, but Bills versus the Patriots. Who you got?
Bills all day. Patriots are done unless they put
What if
Malik
Malik
Cunningham
plays?
in there. They need to put Malik in there, bro. I don't know
I
That
what
got
would
the
you.
Bill
I would agree
Belichick is
with.
doing.
Hey,
I would agree.
Bro,
he
he's at a
said something that
crossroad.
made me believe that Malik might be playing soon.
Yeah, bro. He's at a crossroad. Either transform into what the NFL is now or get out because all your old philosophy is done with. All your older coaches are struggling besides Andy Reid.
Hmm.
I mean, Bill doesn't call offense, so
I know,
because
but
Mac
that's
Jones
his
doesn't do a
squad
play,
though.
it's not wrong. Yeah. It's
Well,
not Bill's fault.
does that
It
mean you
was
think
always the great system.
does that mean you think that the Patriots have a chance?
The Patriots have zero chance to
Okay,
win
I
this
just wanted to
game
be
unless
sure there.
Josh Allen throws the game away. I
Yeah,
mean, no way. Josh
none.
Allen is going to dominate. The Bills are going to dominate this game. The Patriots may not win a game the rest of the year.
Damn, damn. All right, Nui, are you with that?
Oh yeah, the Bills gonna run with this.
Yeah.
That's all day.
If you know how I feel about the Patriots, people look. The Bills are gonna.
Eagles
They're gonna
take
win
some
by
Patriot
3,
shit.
maybe 4 touchdowns. It's gonna be an ugly blowout. I always like this division matchup because it's always a good game. Cardinals versus the Seahawks. Who y'all got?
I got Seattle.
Brandon?
Seattle.
Okay. I got Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona's fighting each
Yeah.
and every week, but Seattle has really surprised me. And Geno Smith is playing at a high level. I think Seattle sees that they have a playoff opportunity in their future. They're going to win this game.
I think Cardinals are going to play them hard. I just think it's going to be too much to overcome because they're playing in Seattle and it's very hard to play up there. We got this is an interesting matchup. I don't think it's going to be as bored as it looks on paper. But the Rams versus the Steelers.
I got Pittsburgh.
Rams. Rams.
Rams. Tim.
I got the Rams at home. They're too explosive
Rams.
on offense.
I got Pittsburgh, man.
That's about to eat. Minka Fitzpatrick still banged up.
Mm.
That ain't gonna look right.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and ride
That
with the
front,
Steelers.
bro.
I like when teams come off of a bye, and I think the Rams took a pretty big blow with your riser and Kyron Williams not being able to play in this game. I think the Steelers are going to take this one. We got another division matchup with a guy who I don't really know about, but the Chargers versus the Chiefs.
Yawning and shit.
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Pat probably gonna have 400 yards.
Oh, okay. Much as you love Herbert, I was surprised, but yeah, Chiefs.
No, look, man, you got to be honest with yourself. Kansas City's the better team. Andy Reid's the better coach. Patrick Mahomes is the better quarterback. The Chiefs are going to win the game.
Okay. Two struggling quarterbacks in this next matchup. You got the Packers versus the Broncos in Denver.
Another toilet bowl.
Packers. Aaron Jones should be
Aaron
back.
Jones is back. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Fantasy Guy. So yeah, he's back on the starting roster.
Yeah.
I got the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, they're gonna take it.
They got to do something at some point. So I'm going to let's ride with the Broncos. I'm going to ride with them this week. I hate the Packers, so I expect them to lose each and every week. So yeah, no
I hate the
Broncos.
Packers, but Aaron Jones is a special player that doesn't get enough credit. He's going to run through this team, and it's going to be ugly. I got the Packers in this one. This is I said earlier that we had a game of the week, but if there's 2 game of the week, this is the other game of the week. Sunday night. What a matchup. Finally a good matchup on Sunday. The Dolphins versus the Eagles.
Ooh.
I'm a
Just had
Cowboy
another good
fan.
matchup on Sunday night too.
I'm a Cowboys fan, but I know Darius Slay gonna be healthy this week, so I'm going with Philly.
Philly.
I think Philly takes this.
And it's a tough game. It's hard to play there at good old Lincoln Financial Field. Is that still
It's
what they call
cold,
it?
probably.
Whatever the hell
Cold,
they call that
loud.
place. It's hard. They throw snowballs at Santa Claus. But I'm going to tell you what. Dolphins are going to whoop that ass this week.
Whoop that ass.
Whoop that ass.
I think
Luke, you got
That's
to
why
keep
you
up,
stay
bro.
losing too.
Philly's got to score 35 to keep up with the Dolphins. Good luck.
I think
They haven't
I
scored
don't
that
know
here's the
about
one.
that. It's gonna be cold,
Everybody,
man.
here's the one underrated thing about the Dolphins. Everybody sees this high flying offense, but that high flying offense is working because they're running the ball very good. You're not running the
They have
ball
a very good run game.
You're not running the ball on the
Here's what
Eagles.
concerns me with this game.
You're just not running the ball on the Eagles.
Defense they
If Tua's forced to pass the ball the whole game, they're gonna lose.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
got the Eagles
the
on this one.
defense they played really good was Buffalo, and
Yeah,
Buffalo beat them in Buffalo, right? So to me, they need to rebound from that Buffalo game by beating Philly in Philly to have some confidence that they can
I
go
agree.
into a colder weather environment and play well. So this is a huge game for Miami.
I got you. This is a special matchup. Monday night, we got my guys, the Vikings, versus Newey's guys, the 49ers. Bernard, who you got? Easy win?
Gang.
Easy win?
Gang.
Tim, who you got?
Brock Purdy shows up and gives you a nightmare.
Bang,
Gang.
Niner game all day.
Kirk
All day?
Cousins, good luck, man.
Historically, Minnesota does not play well against the San Francisco 49ers. I believe this game is going back to San Francisco after
It is
that
back-to-back
big
L.
loss.
We'll see.
Yeah, definitely going to take the San Francisco 49ers here.
Sorry.
There's a weird misconception that Kirk does not play good in primetime games. Kirk has been playing pretty fucking good in primetime games. And that team is beat up. There's a lot of guys that I don't care if they play or not, they're still hurt.
We're all healthy. We're good.
They're
We're
not
good.
healthy. They're still hurt.
Good luck, bub.
I promise you, the way that they got after Brock Purdy, I think we can do the same thing. The way
Your guy leads in sacks.
that is correct. They've been getting after it.
I looked that up.
They've been getting after it.
about that.
I think we do have a chance.
Nard's going to cut out on us. He's at 2%.
I think we do have a chance. But I want to stay on with this trend. 49ers for the win. And that means that we're going to probably win. Bernard, thank you for having
you, brother.
Man, like this was awesome. We're going to have to do this again, my boy. We did a little different.
Dog.
We weren't on the couch, but we'll be back on the couch next week. But I appreciate you guys. Remember to go follow us at the Couch Coach Club. This is your Friday morning pit stop into the greatest sport on this planet. Without further ado, Mark, play that theme music, dog. We out.